The video I'm going to be playing with for you today, you haven't seen it before. So before I get to play the video, now take a close look at this picture, because this picture would give us a great understanding of the beginning. I always say the beginning of this whole situation, okay? If you look at this picture, there are some people you see significantly. First person from the left is Mercy Chinwo, someone significant. Third person after her is K.O. Baba. He's the person I'm looking at today in this video. K.O. Baba himself. Well done, sir. How are you doing? I know you are watching my conversations. You're welcome, okay? Next person, of course, I'll see significant there, Frank Edwards. We talked about Frank Edwards' relationship with Eezee. Yeah, Eezee is the one at the center. He's the president of Eezee Concept. Toby, first person from the left, he's the one that is a president, or would I say CEO, Nigeria chapter or something. There you could see Dr. Roy is the third person you see in the picture, Dr. Roy. Okay, this was Gospel Group flyer as at 2017. As at when? 2017. I don't know if it's making sense. As at when? 2017. When was the contract signed? 2017. I don't, say, people don't get mine and watch my video yesterday. The one I took time to really analyze what VDM was saying, that the contract was not signed on paper. It was signed in the air. How can you not sign contract? Anyway, I showed you people the facts. You saw the process and everything. So one person that was there during the signing of the contract in 2017, the person is K.O. Baba himself. He went on radio station. Let's play the video. Be objective.
Super 93.3 FM Port Harcourt. It is the Comedy House of Assembly, and as you know, we've got the assembly members are all here in the studio, all here though, K.O. Baba, Ras OAU, and Moody Aga. So we told you before that break that we're going to the entertainment industry, focusing especially on the would I say now, the gospel music industry. And for the last few weeks, there have been issues in a particular record label, Eezee Concept. The owners of Eezee Concepts is of course Mr. Ezekiel, and in that record label we have artists like GUC, Judy K. Mercy Chinwo also used to be signed to that record label. In fact, that record label was the label that launched gospel singer, multiple award-winning musician Mercy Chinwo into the global stage, causing her to become the beloved as far as gospel music is concerned. But at the moment, things seem to have taken a completely different turn, and there have been suits and countersuits, EFCC invitations, court appearances, and what have you. And the internet also, supporters and fans are mediating. Some are taking positions, some are giving their views altogether. Today we have in our assembly one of the advocates and a very close friend, a man who played a very integral role in the signing of Mercy Chinwo to Eezee Concepts, the man that you know already, K.O. Baba. Let me ask you, K.O. Baba, all sentiments aside, and I know you're going to struggle to be as objective as possible.
No, I will not struggle to be objective.
K.O., calm down.
I will not.
This is you also showing us that you're struggling to
I will not.
Let her finish her
What
question.
you call objective? See, this my ear know me. I'm going to tell you, say, when I talk to people, I say, but Eezee Concept will not say they're not owing.
We never even ask you the problem.
No, because
Can I ask you the question? I wanted to ask you.
I
Make the answer question.
I want nobody to, for this matter, nobody should start a conversation with.
I have not even
Ask
started the
your question.
conversation.
Man, I just tell you, I carry on this radio.
This is the problem.
Ask.
Anybody who has listened to this program long enough will know that K.O. Baba struggles with objectivism.
See, sir.
But let me ask you this question. Can you go? Let's go to the genesis of this entire thing. How did this entire thing start? Especially the problem, this riff. Where would you say was the genesis of the problem, so that we can get a clearer picture?
The riff stuff.
Okay. First thing first. Eezee Concept. The genesis of all the problems in Eezee Concept doesn't have anything to do with contract. The problem was not about contract. The problem was not.
But do you have an idea what the contract looked like?
I have an idea. Yes.
Yes. So give us an overview.
Listen, it was about it's a case of personal differences. Like let me say there's a time
K.O., speak pigeon, just speak pigeon.
Got married, and Eezee Concept has a policy that staff no go date yourself. You understand? Don't date yourself. And our PA, assistant, the person working was dating a particular person, still in the but they no tell her. No, she know that. So by the time when they tell her, the relationship don't go far, and they want marriage.
You can't do much.
In the case of there's a policy you should not. People you cannot date. You are living and they do this thing. Is director aware? Yes. So why was I not told? And in that case too, I felt Eezee. I know when I had the conversation with Eezee, why was Miss not told? Highest thing, because people know one man tell her she will kick against her. And she too, as human, she has the right to feel very angry, because even me, I will feel the same way. The person they live with me, when they do like this, I suppose.
And there's a company policy that prohibits that.
But these people say our own relationship was not boyfriend and girlfriend, it was
straight to marriage.
Straight to
We
marriage.
From boyfriend and girlfriend leads to marriage.
But we knew we wanted to get married.
everything. The relationship they cried from their personal. All of these things you hear about contract now was like this was never.
Okay.
Yes, because when we went for your Belly, I know that it was 50-50 contract. I also know that definitely, aside being a 50-50 contract, Eezee Concept was supposed to, which they actually did, every 100% of whether promotion, production, artist welfare,
And the management, they handle
everything. In fact, that 5 years, now they will parent. They get to provide car for the mobility.
all this are from that, they are 50%.
Yes, it's part of the contract. All these things are
So for those who don't understand, say for instance, they generate 50 million naira. Let's just say, okay, let's use 5 million naira, and then the artist takes 2.5 million. The record takes 2.5 million. The artist owns 2.5 million. She will keep her.
The artist owns 2.5 million. So the artist, then you pay your instrumentalists.
Okay.
The label from their own 2.5 million, they are then go carry it, do your promotion, do your production
to ensure that you keep getting more gigs.
And then take note too, this contract is 50% on gross, 50-50 on gross.
Right.
So when it means on gross, we say gross and net now. If we were going for a program and we spend some money before we share the 5 million naira for the team,
we'll first remove
some, but then wait till they share 50-50. But this contract was not like 50% on gross.
Wow.
Yeah. So any problem will happen prior to this time, nobody can come. That's why some things are pissing me off. Nobody can come and say it was contract related. So now from personal issues, I also
personal issues that were not addressed.
Yeah, that were not addressed.
Now started affecting their professional relationship.
One of the days too, and that's I know where she mentioned the case of where they had a conference, and because she didn't go, they used that preach as bad exam, and it was a case of calm down. Yeah. And
Mercy.
Yes, I know this particular one, and I know as Eezee. The one for that relationship also now as Eezee. Okay, this one happened before the marriage own thing, and I can fault Eezee on how I manage that precious and entity marriage things. So they would have told her, I said, calm down, make them marry.
Before
this marriage.
So let's now go straight to when things now became worse to the point where we now the hear of the matter.
See, Madam Speaker, I will stand there and say it anyway. Eezee is fighting the biggest, nobody has fought the highest cartel of gospelers, if that word there exists, of gospel people. Because when this whole relationship they cracked, there are people who aided this thing. Because every artist have a contract. Part of them of the contract, you cannot feature. I've had people.
So was there a contract? Was there a part in the contract that stated that she could not feature or she could not be featured in someone else's song?
Without the knowledge of the label.
Without the knowledge of the label.
You cannot be featured, or you cannot feature anybody without it. It's part of it.
Yes, which is standard practice.
Yes,
imagine I'm bringing someone on the show and the station is not aware.
Let me start. Let me say something where I was taking with how this whole Eezee didn't dare to sign friend Mercy. So one that Mercy and then Mercy say, "Isn't they pay me my body? They vibrate sometimes when I think yeah." Say I see Eezee. I don't talk to Eezee. What if we work together? You understand? See for good, doing study the job. And now Frank no they said only playing the work with me. Had that conversation.
That's Frank Edwards.
Then I think she spoke to him of my collect phone. One healer on see how far. My friend they tell me say in Eezee just like they know how nothing like that yet. They just they talk and see. Madam Speaker, from the point we dropped that phone call, from that point, Chief know me as a day when I want something. I know I like the rest. Whether it was for 1 month after or 2 months after, I dey call Eezee, I dey chat Eezee.
To follow up.
If Eezee gay somewhere around, I will meet Eezee. Our discussion is fun at the sign Mercy.
Because you're kind of person. If you want something, you go for
something. Mercy on her own, don't write 100 songs now. Because we were promoting Igwe then, and the struggles before then. Once for people they talk, the struggles before then. They won't tell you that there was a point where...
And that's, that Eezee song was a beautiful song.
Yeah, it was a beautiful song because I took the songs, went to radio stations, dropped the song. She said she was working on a video. She sent the video, good video. I took the video to Alabi. When we just go comedy as I dropped the video with Alabi. Let's check if this is enough to make
our Alabi.
Yeah, Alabi. Then Mercy came into town, both of us went to Azobia. And I'm begging those, say, you did close to Gogo Iyala for Arrest TV. So in those one carrier come go Arrest TV, then drop the song. At that level, gigs were not coming in as much. If now that level of tempo way they use, they even try to build the career because luckily we went viral.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it went viral, and the song went viral. But if it's at that level, you know, we get to this level. Yes.
So then she gets signed. Let's not drag. She gets signed. Let's move on.
The issues that they have were not contract related. So when you sit down,
so now people want to know right now what are the issues.
Okay, see the issues. Brought to when after 3 years, at this third year of the contract entered the 4th year. And when they get cracked, and they try to amend that. I had complaints from the label that she was not speaking with other label. And I tried to talk to her in one of the days. I also say this person do, this person do. Leave her my own side, and normal leave her. At times where I had conversation with Eezee and he was trying to raise one or two concerns. When I even talk to Mercy, I made like saying Eezee make me be this thing. I would like to advise. Sometimes she will listen. And I still maintain that even this third album within the fight, do you know that this third album, some songs have been recorded, then pause halfway when this whole thing did. And
so she's meant to release a third album before leaving the record label.
For 5 years contract.
Okay.
And in that 5 years, 3 albums.
Okay.
In that 5 years, 2 don't go. So the third one was supposed to happen towards the end of the contract, 50.
Okay.
Like you release an album first year, so the 50. And then this crack on the album for the relationship. So if you point out what's the issue when this whole thing happened before this person really knows know how relationship till you get into the picture. I just feel that a lot of things would have been resolved and made.
Okay, well, yes, there's a part of this conversation that you're not hitting the nail on the head. The issue now, what is the issue now? They say that they owe each other.
What I'm explaining now, that's what I'm explaining. One day I sent, I had booking after making an arrangement. I can't send me account, my messier. No be the level account. Come on, my level account to me. I asked, and they now made reference to the complaint. Message the complaint, they carry a gift, they give to the king. And so they will pay into the account. Since they said they will pay into the account, she will remit to the level. Not too long, the level complaint says she need a remit. Okay. Again. The level says.
So hold on. Sorry, hold on. So they agree that for the sake of transparency, for you,
yes,
let the monies come to your account.
No, they didn't even say the money. They just say
contact,
do your booking.
Yes, do your booking.
When they call, nobody would divert.
Collect the money, then give us our 50%.
Yes, give us our percent.
But does the label also get to do bookings for her?
That's the normal standard.
Okay.
Because Eezee, that's what I also.
Because sometimes some people don't know that they are supposed to call Mercy direct. They could still call Eezee. Do they still do that?
So we know the answer that because after they don't give Mercy the phone, so okay, these are the phone where they tell you.
Mercy they do some bookings for her.
So they do their own.
So when that happens, so they give her the 50%.
Yes.
Okay.
So the issues here is that because they say my money need to complete, they do on that declaration. You understand? They divert my event.
Personally,
I
think we're spending.
And then when you see they divert my event, they do this thing. I saw the level now. You need to come for us to do an account. Wait, the level 7 later say, well, I will stop paying your royalties until we sit on the table and do an accounting. Okay. You understand? And they cut the royalty. There is a particular lie within the lie. They say, no one made it on it. The level doesn't know it. Eezee and guys, when the pastors got involved and wanted to resolve this, they will say, one audit your book, nobody did. Then the Eezee go to say, it has to be a two-way thing. We want you because this artist goes shows where they say, some of them will get the date. They say this particular artist, of course, did collaborations where we know, audit this person now, I'm going to with my audit me. This is the to say,
let us all come for audit.
Yeah, all of us come for audit.
My point is, if a label don't help me giving that platform, so I don't grow reach that extent because I know where they come from. I know, so I don't get anything. If they don't help me reach that level, so I don't grow. I won't come out. You get what somebody talk. Sometimes just look away. No, come out.
So if the label starts to do something fraudulent because they don't help you before.
Come on, they never help you before. They say they help you, and then you get the talent.
They feed me, they help me, they help me.
When you say something,
I don't grow. I don't read.
Like waiting.
Not really fraudulent.
Fraudulent like
when you start like fraudulent, like saying
when you say come out is usually used to refer to instead of it to question certain things that are not clear.
See, let me say something.
Yes,
and anybody can quote me anywhere.
You get the talent. Whatever you say, sorry, the label don't chop from you. In less than a few months, with your talent,
so let's talk about the royalty. Does the royalty stop moving or stop accruing because you have left?
No,
because you have talent. People still keep growing. What do you mean for?
When people say this,
are they fighting over royalty?
Yes.
Then they sound.
They have not talked about it.
I mentioned this. Say, let us will stop your royalty now. I
mentioned
that.
Personally.
No, yeah, for this show. When you go watch the live video, I mentioned that. For this, I mentioned a few minutes ago.
This is the part of the conversation.
Because I have the guy from you.
I mentioned when you the level said we need to come sit down, counting both sides, and the artists no come. They stop royalty fighting for. So when they come and begin the fight to release royalty, and you want to push Eezee one side.
So the royalty only stop when Mercy refuse to come for
their accountability. They don't want to say all this, and it's not right. If you sit down, the pastors still try to involve to settle the became one-sided. So, you want to audit Eezee. So
let's do a financial comparison. The amount of the money where they come for bookings compared to the amount of money where they for the royalty. So it's like say, hold on. So it's like say, I suspect say you owe me 10 million naira, right? If for instance, me and you get business where somehow my money for your hand is supposed to be like 10 million naira, I suspect say at least 10 million. However, the business with me and you do too, I'm sitting on like 150 million of your money. I will come say until I know the whereabouts of that my 10 million naira. This your 150 million naira. I will for person. They wait for you.
Master, let me tell you one thing.
Is that a good?
Yes. Let me tell you something.
Is that a good?
Put emotion. Let me tell you something.
See, I don't.
People are doing either religion or sentiment.
It's not religion. I never call God here.
There's one thing. There's one thing Eezee will tell you. When Eezee start label, Eezee tell you outrightly that he was doing ministry and industry. He has not shied away. Most pastors fighting him. Most artists, pastors are fighting because when you call for an artist, they will tell you this is what you pay and stand by. The artists are complaining. So they get their own concern. But you cannot come and say you don't know how much your money will be part my own. I leave my own money. We check your money can be bigger, and then you have a chance to claim your royalties as much as it is. They took the guy to EFCC instead of going to lock out.
The major problem is that we don't come from a system, generally speaking, of holding people accountable for the actions.
Yes.
It's a general problem. And I feel that it also starts from the church. The church is one place where we like to sweep things under the carpet.
I think they are going too dirty.
We need to develop a culture where people understand contracts.
Okay, Madam Speaker,
like Mercy going on social media to the talk say you don't like Nathaniel Bass, you don't like Pastor Kerry. That's his business.
So when they started fighting and wanting this meeting to happen, they go carry Roy, sponsor Roy. My guy told me that when Roy say don't call and make him come, say go do mentor for Honest Bunch, he discouraged Roy. You understand? Went to Honest Bunch. How did Roy?
There's so many comments.
How did Roy leave Eezee Concept? Roy was his staff. He was employed as his staff in the PM. He has an employment. Yes, he has an employment later. When Roy get an employment later, and after some issues, Roy resigned. After let me see Roy not deal with Eezee again. I carried my phone and called Eezee. Eezee, I will support somebody that I can question, and he will answer me. Eezee will tell you, I'm not afraid to ask him the question, and he will give me answer. I go and say, what happened? Why Roy come out? He say, no, sir, Roy resign. And say, make Roy go. Say, no, go. Peter, only person where they always argue with an artist, they in good time with artists, which is Mercy, and give other reasons about the guy. This thing that Roy is saying, publishing, everybody talking about, hey, I know they're royalty, but it's not, I'm producer. How many of the gospel artists they give? Is it peculiar to Eezee Concept? No.
But some people say,
Roy now go. This is what you judge when I drop it, you judge. Roy don't come out. You get bad relations with people. Roy on his own. There are people in Eezee Concept that has publishing rights. You should get instrumental and because they play well and they produce, they get 2%, 1%, 3%. When we either they release royalties, then they send to them. Roy on his own, carrying this thing, turn from back, and then apply to claim 50%. 50%, not considering the label, not considering the artist. If he takes 50%, what in the label will take, what in the artist will take, and the label knock him off. If that kind of person, they will give you right because as an employee, you never have the right.
Well, it's a completely different situation.
So
now the producers,
if you want to, if you feel,
gentlemen, let's take some reactions.
If you feel, okay, give me 1 minute, let me wrap up it. If you feel that you are fighting somebody, we are all gospel, we are all Christians, and you call all the enemy, you will call Roy to come talk, you will call this one to come talk. They bring the Daniel in 2022. The Daniel say, my vice president slapper. Out of yesterday, they brought a video, made the boy not say, nah, he's a slapper. Me and somebody yesterday called the Daniel for phone. Person said, did he slap? He said, no, he didn't slap me. I didn't say so. I said, but why is it out on social media? The boy father, the boy senior brother. Why are you doing snake campaign? Why are you doing? Okay, so
one thing I will establish to us here and to everybody else who's listening is that this conversation is one-sided. It is heavily lopsided because the only person who's speaking here now is a Eezee advocate. Is like the spokesperson or unofficial spokesperson of the record label. And so
any day bring her come.
Yes, I will, but you will not be here when that conversation will be going on because then they know the way they talk. So they will have their own time to speak.
Here because I'm a comedy as a member of the comedy.
You took advantage of the situation.
Yes.
We'll move on now.
So call the person. See, if you want to call anybody, you call me. Say, okay, the last time you were talking, you were alone. The easiest way you can call is
then I will call another person. You go there for your house. You go there for house. They listen to the person. That's what will happen. Let's open the phone lines right now to take reactions to all of the stories we've spoken about today, not just the Mercy Chinwo Eezee Concept situation.
Now, for those who like to listen before I talk, you are finished listening. You can do your analysis in the comments. My people, come closer. Let's look at some things that the man himself said. While he was talking, all the points I would have done interjections. I took my time to write what I could have said, or the point that was a pointer. So let me start from the ending part of some things he said, till we now go to the beginning, okay? So one of the last things he said was about the person of Dr. Roy, okay? Now, we looked at the person of Dr. Roy when we were looking at the Honest Bunch podcast.
Whether you like him or not for business.
Okay, so this is a person. Now, talking about Dr. Roy, he said that Dr. Roy was sponsored to go on the Honest Bunch podcast to go and say what he said about Eezee. Is that a statement of fact or his opinion? I cannot prove that, but that is what he said. But he said something that Roy had an issue with the artist, that the reason why he was sacked was because Roy was having issues with his artist. That was why he sacked him. That's different from what Roy himself said. We did an extensive analysis on this. I took time as well to explain every detail. Note, I have not spoken to this man, Eezee, Mercy Chinwo, even before this whole analysis that K.O. Baba was giving of what he was saying over here about Roy, that Roy had gone behind to put his name to take 50%. If you are my audience, were you not here when I showed you everything on the back end with the publishing without speaking to any of them? The facts are there. This is 1 week ago. The video is trending now. I did all this without speaking to any of them. I showed you how to do it, how to find it yourself. Those who are into the music ministry or those who are music enthusiasts, they learned a lot. Read the comments there. This is without speaking to any of them, but looking at the conversations and say, okay, this person said this on this podcast. Let me go and verify. So in the same video, I exposed Dr. Roy of what he did behind the scenes. All of you saw it. If you are watching at this point, just type, now wow, some people too do. I exposed Roy, exposed Eezee, even talked about Frank Edwards, Don Jazzy and Rema, lots of different people to really point to the fact that what Eezee was doing was unethical because he was putting his name as part of the writers of a song. Even when he's taking 50% from publishing, he's also sharing in also the artist's publishing rights. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go on as well here. So he talks about the fact that some people in the label are getting their publishing right. I showed you that even though some people are listed there in the system for having the ability to get their publishing rights, not all of them have the IPI number. So if you know your name was part of those particular publishing information I shared that is publicly available, please, okay, make sure you are registered with IPI. Make sure you are registered with either ASCAP or BMI so that you can also get your publishing right. Whether it is 0%, 2%, you earned it. At least he tried to put your name there. Okay? And Labisi, I'm going to check again if you have had your IPI number. It's not your name being there for fancy, but you also need to have your royalties as well publishing royalties coming to you. I took time to explain publishing royalties and also the master's royalties. The first videos I got to make about, the very first video I made, I took time to explain the music business. Okay, the next thing, of course, he said here that, so moving forward, he was called to be an insider as well, that he was said to be an insider. So you know that this person is an insider. But just to explain to you how much of an insider he is, the picture you see right now on your screen, he was there when Mercy Chinwo was signed into the label. Notice that from the beginning of what he said, he's introduced as a man who played an integral role in the signing of Mercy Chinwo. Our brother and friend, activist, investigator, he came out here and was saying that she did not sign, that she signed and it was not written on paper. This when they went to Lagos that it was not written on paper. Think about that English. So this person was part of the, and let me show you the picture. So look at him here. He's the one wearing the blue t-shirt. In fact, he was sitting, note, she signed the contract on her birthday, 5th of September, 2017. I have to make this very clear. The question right now is, if Eezee is claiming that the contract that is 2019 and they changed the date to 2017, which they actually are presenting as a contract that she signed, of which VDM was showing as the contract that she signed, since apparently he was there, he did his investigation. Wonderful, from Eezee. He should go and investigate. If he wants to do investigation very well on the side that he's on, okay, at least he speaks the side he's on, let him go and investigate the law firm that wrote that particular contract to show that he's very objective. He should go and investigate the law firm and ask the law firm, were you there when Mercy Chinwo signed this as well? Because you are the law firm representing this particular company. Because I would like to get the answers on that, okay? But I know that is already dead on arrival. The fact is that this particular man was there during the signing of the contract. And like you heard him say, he said he was there at the unveiling of the contract. I'm showing you the pictures here so you could see. The person that is standing there with Mercy Chinwo is Toby, and Toby is a CEO. These people, the thing is that I doubt that even the people that are even at the helms of affair in this record label, in my opinion, my dear friends, I see too many lies. I can't really uphold their Christian virtue. I'm just saying, I'm discussing about this as just pure business, not like people that are Christians and they are using their church mind to really operate. If I'm looking at Mercy Chinwo, I would say, oh, church mind as a Christian, let's go. But if I'm looking at the greed that is also coming from the record label, the lie at least about the contract. Now, the new narrative is that nothing was signed in 2017. At least we are seeing the echo of that coming from VDM's side. So the only new thing that was coming from his own side of the conversation was when he started making assertions like about the contract, there not being any contract in 2017, but saying that they said, how can you sign contract in 2017? It's not on paper, and then it now became on paper in 2019. Just let it make sense. So what you do as well here, since you are investigating one side, okay, ask for the law firm that created that contract and then talk to them, because something happened at the EFCC, according to Mercy Chinwo's post from their legal aid on her page. Take your time and go and read it as well so you understand both sides. Remember, I did all what I did without speaking to any of them, but looking at what they were posting. So everybody got their own fair share of woto woto. Let's go on. He now went on to say right here, he said that he had an idea of what the contract looks like. And he's going in talking about that, he now talked about the 50% rates that it was. This is someone talking about what happened in 2017. K.O. Baba, were you there in 2019 as another witness? Let me go on as well to read another one. He now talked about fighting cartel of gospelers, so that they were fighting cartel of, that are people that are orchestrating this whole thing from behind the scenes, who are the gospelers fighting Eezee. Which he also went on to say that Eezee from onset said that he was doing industry and of course ministry. So what the issues that pastors have with him is that, you know, when they are looking for artists, he tells them that this is what they're going to charge or something. So now talking about royalties, note that Mercy Chinwo herself said in her books, in her reports, that she had not received publishing one kobo for over the years. I shared Stadia and showed you the whole publishing thing, how it works. Some of you never knew about that in your life. What am I trying to make you understand right here? If she could not have received, she didn't receive publishing all through, and publishing was what was an issue between him and Dr. Roy, which I'm going to come to him as well, because even after I exposed Dr. Roy or something, all of this was happening behind the scenes without Mercy Chinwo even knowing that there was maybe something like this called publishing. But as I can't open, wait till some of you got to know about these things firsthand because I talked about it. But she hadn't received publishing for this long. While Eezee is a publishing company himself, taking 50% and also taking from her as a writer. I don't know whether he's the one, whether he's putting his name there as the person that is a producer or the person. So Dr. Roy himself was a producer, but I don't want to stress on that as well because, again, according to what he was saying, according to what K.O. Baba was saying, that he had an employment contract, which was what he had. He was just employed as a staff, not as if they had an agreement in the sense of that he can get publishing rights. But what he said about Dr. Roy having done that behind the scenes, maybe I expose it here without even seeing him talk about it. I'm seeing this as well for the first time. Let's go on. Okay, talking about the third album, you heard him say here that even Mercy Chinwo has written over 100 songs. That means that lady is quite hardworking. He talked about the fact that she was already recording the third album. Now, according to her, Eezee wanted her to be around longer than her said contract. So she said that Eezee, what I'm saying now, go and verify on her page before you talk saying that me, that they do this thing, that they do PR for her. That was what she said. We looked at it, of course, here before. But for those of you who are still new, she said that there was now delay tactics so that she will not be able to release her third album before leaving. She said she had written all the songs already. So this person now confirms that indeed she had everything ready. All she was now asking is for studio sessions to make the song she has to make before leaving the record label. So she breaching her contract, that is being said, she breached contract. What was the circumstances that led to that happening? Because of course, like you saw VDM, of course, starting his video, he said, yes, she was owed royalties, but why? Me, I would say, yes, she breached the contract, but why? It's so funny. Let me go on as well, okay? It's good I did not interject. He now said as well here that he did bookings. He talked about doing bookings for her, and then when account was sent to him, it was Mercy's account. Keo Baba, when you did booking for Mercy Chinwo, probably you have to prove what bookings were you making for her. Who sent you her account number? Was it Mercy Chinwo that sent you her account number? Since her account number was sent to you, was it the management that sent you her account number instead of sending you the record label's number or management number or something? That is quite important to note, okay? Because if you say this right now, of course, Mercy Chinwo will not come and respond to you if you say that it was Mercy Chinwo that sent you her account number. But for you to have a booking for her, and that was how you got to know about the whole situation about her having her own phone lines, that itself was a little bit confusing for me. But of course, you have to take the fact that she was given that free hand to handle her bookings, and she was remitting up to a particular point as well. Because had it been she was remitting all the way, why would she now say that there was some money left, 3,500, that she had to also remit? So indeed, she was not remitting to a particular point, but she was remitting up to a particular point. Now, talking about the concept of collaboration, I talked about this before. When she did collaboration with Nathaniel Bassey, it was after she was out of the record label. Collaboration with Choma Jesus, I also saw. There was one that was when she was in the record label. There is one that is after the record label. And maybe collaboration with Moses Bliss and all of that. So I want to also understand as well, when you talk about collaborations that she had done, because you are the one talking about it as well here, Keo Baba, what collaborations would you be talking about right here that she did outside the permission of the record label? Because if she's outside the timeline of her contract, understanding the circumstances that led to her not being able to finish up her album requirement, then what did she do that is wrong with that? Talking about collaborations. So that's one thing I want to really understand. He mentioned this particular fact where he said 4th year of the contract. He talked about it, that he said that the issue started on the 4th year of the contract. Issue started on the 4th year of the contract. If there was no written contract, which he already established was 50-50 on gross, which I said that 50-50% contract deal was too good. That's why I gave Eezee a thumbs up for that, because for you to have a record deal with someone for 50-50, that is too good. I said it here 100 times. But based on that as well here, he's doubling down on the fact that there was indeed a contract. But again, Oga, would you produce the contract of 2017? I guess not. So the narrative right now is that there was no contract in 2017. It was now in 2029 that they backdated it to 2017. This is someone that was there. That is it me? Wait, is it me? Is it me that do this? Is it me that is speaking now? What else again did I observe? Okay. By the way, the whole dating issue and the way he started was just rabble-rousing around the whole thing. What does a member, someone that is working for Mercy Chinwo's team, dating or not, that, what does that have to do with the conversation? But of course, the host, of course, was clear that he's not someone objective. But even with what he has said, at least, Shebi, I'm analyzing what he said. Is it not consistent with what you have been looking at right now? So what is the summation of this particular video that I'm making on this subject now, reacting to someone, at least an insider that was there? One thing you have to know is that there was a contract in 2017. But I will tell you as well, my dear friends, don't let the examples that are being set by what is happening here, sincerely speaking, really make you question the faith. Christianity is just so wonderful that if you really understand what it means to have the life of Christ in you, if you really understand what it means for the Holy Spirit to really be at work in you, if you really understand what it means to have the life of Christ in you, you see that in all of these things happening, there's an agenda going on here, and it's coming from within. I've talked about greed being a problem here. I've talked about this is not being about Christ-centeredness. Mammon is here. There's a lot of deception, of course, going on. I'll be very honest with you on that. But if you have to be objective in how you look at these things, at least one thing we can say for a fact is that someone is lying big time. Something is going on behind the scenes. And it's my prayer that at least the person that is in the spotlight, Mercy Chinwo, is able to handle this with patience, with peace, with a stable mind, and just follow through with whatever she feels God is leading her to do to make sure everything comes to a standstill. If the people that were initiating peace are now the same people that have taken side, like I showed you in my last video, Mercy Chinwo, you mind those you trust in this whole conversation. If you're having a thing with the EFCC, if you're having a thing with, I would tell you in my own opinion, if it were to be me, I would walk away, I would bounce. I know myself too well. But I cannot tell you what to do. The Lord is your strength. See you in my next video. If you got up to this point, let's type in the comment. Let's confuse them. Jesus is Lord. Please type that in the comment. Jesus is Lord.